She was Hollywood's ultimate icon, the blonde bombshell, the woman who captivated presidents, moguls, and millions. But on August 5, 1962, Marilyn Monroe was found dead, allegedly from a drug overdose, officially ruled a probable suicide. But was it? Over 60 years later, the question still won't go away. Was it a tragic accident, or something more sinister? Today, we unravel one of the most enduring mysteries in pop culture history. This is the story behind Marilyn Monroe's death, and why it still doesn't add up. The life behind the legend. Marilyn Monroe wasn't born a star. She was born Norma Jean Mortensen, later baptized as Baker, and raised through a series of foster homes and guardianships in Los Angeles. Her early life was marked by instability and trauma, including the absence of her mother, who struggled with mental illness, and the identity of a father she never knew. But she found escape in modeling, and eventually signed a contract with 20th Century Fox, transforming into Marilyn Monroe, the screen siren known for her platinum hair, breathy voice, and magnetic on-camera charm. Marilyn was far more than the dumb blonde roles she was typecast in. Behind the scenes, she was whip-smart, a voracious reader, and deeply committed to improving her craft. She studied at the Actors Studio under Lee Strasberg and battled studios over creative control, something few actresses dared to do at the time. By the early 1960s, she had starred in more than 20 films and was one of the most photographed women in the world. But the fame came at a steep cost: a life under surveillance and pressure. By the time she turned 36, Marilyn had weathered 3 high-profile marriages, a string of miscarriages, and a growing dependence on prescription drugs. Her personal life was a subject of constant tabloid scrutiny, and the studios often treated her as both an asset and a liability. She was famously late to sets, often sick, and plagued by chronic insomnia and anxiety. She also felt increasingly isolated. Despite having immense popularity, Marilyn confided in friends that she felt like a product, manufactured and used by others. In her final years, she was seeking to gain more control of her life and career. She had fired her agents, started her own production company, and was negotiating a return to the big screen after being fired from Something's Got to Give. But all of that came to a tragic halt. The night of her death. Marilyn Monroe was found dead on August 5, 1962, lying naked and face down in her Brentwood bedroom, her hand still gripping a telephone, suggesting she may have tried to make a desperate final call. Her housekeeper, Eunice Murray, claimed she noticed Marilyn's bedroom light on deep into the night and, growing concerned, eventually alerted psychiatrist Dr. Ralph Greenson. He arrived at the house and reportedly broke through a window to find her lifeless body. But the details surrounding her death raised immediate red flags. Why was there such a long delay before the police were called? Why had the house been cleaned, sheets laundered, rooms tidied, before authorities arrived? Despite the official claim that Monroe had overdosed on barbiturates, there was no glass of water by the bed, and the autopsy revealed no residue of pills in her stomach, a detail that puzzled forensic experts. These early inconsistencies opened the door to decades of suspicion, fueling countless conspiracy theories about what really happened that night. The conspiracy theories and the Kennedy connection. One of the most enduring theories links Marilyn's death to the Kennedy family. She had performed her sultry rendition of Happy Birthday, Mr. President, for John F. Kennedy just months earlier, and rumors swirled that she had been romantically involved with both John and Robert Kennedy. Some believe she had been recording conversations and secrets in a diary that mysteriously vanished the night she died. Witnesses later claimed Robert Kennedy was seen entering her residence the night of her death, possibly in an attempt to retrieve letters or recordings. Others claimed her phone had been tapped by the FBI or the Mafia, both of whom had a vested interest in the activities of the Kennedy brothers. While these claims remain unproven, the mere presence of such powerful names ensured that questions about Marilyn's death would never fully fade. Medical irregularities and the missing time. The official cause of Marilyn Monroe's death was listed as acute barbiturate poisoning, citing sky-high levels of nembutyl and chloral hydrate in her bloodstream. But beyond the surface, the medical findings were riddled with irregularities. Dr. Thomas Noguchi, the coroner who conducted the autopsy, later suggested that the results left plenty of room for suspicion. Strangely, the complete toxicology report vanished from official records, and even more suspiciously, key internal organs, like her stomach, intestines, and liver, were either missing or misplaced, making it impossible to determine whether the drugs were swallowed, injected, or administered another way. Adding to the mystery were reports that the scene had been altered. Marilyn's bedroom, which witnesses initially described as messy and chaotic, was suddenly clean and orderly when authorities arrived. The time of death was never definitively pinned down, and the hours between when she was last seen alive and when her body was found remain murky. These unexplained gaps and inconsistencies have led many to believe that the crime scene may have been intentionally sanitized, not just to preserve dignity, but to protect powerful individuals from potential fallout. A symbol of lost innocence, Marilyn's death became a turning point in how the public viewed fame. Her carefully constructed public image, the carefree blonde with a wink, stood in stark contrast to the vulnerable, often depressed woman behind it. In many ways, Marilyn became the poster child for the darker side of celebrity. The loneliness, the exploitation, and the mental health struggles masked by glamour. The public outcry after her death fueled a cultural obsession. Books, documentaries, and fictional retellings have dissected her final days for decades. From the idea that she was silenced for what she knew, to the theory that her death was staged, the sheer number of unanswered questions has kept Marilyn's legacy steeped in mystery, enduring influence, and relevance. Today, Marilyn Monroe's life and death remain cautionary tales about fame, power, and gender politics. She was one of the first stars whose death was immediately clouded in conspiracy. And she won't be the last. Modern audiences, now more aware of mental health and media manipulation, revisit her story with fresh eyes. Her legacy endures not only in pop culture but also in legal and ethical conversations about how celebrities are managed, protected, or sacrificed for profit. The unanswered questions surrounding her death continue to resonate, not because we expect a clear resolution, but because they reflect a deeper truth about how society treats its icons. Was Marilyn Monroe's death a tragic accident, a deliberate act, or something far more complicated? We may never know for sure, but the mystery continues to captivate generations. What's your theory? Let us know in the comments. Like this video if you're intrigued by old Hollywood mysteries, and subscribe for more deep dives into the shadows of stardom.